are 5 things that keep you from being successful, or your organization, your nonprofit, from being successful. And you can apply this to, it's not just a nonprofit thing. You can apply this, to for profit, to whatever. These are the top 5. It's a lot of them, but here's 5. You don't have a working board, y'all. You have to have board members who are engaged. And I'm not sitting on my high horse and saying everything I have is, what I do is perfect, because we are gonna, you're gonna experience different dynamics on your board. You're going to have board members that are engaged, and then when you elect new board members and things happen, you might have a couple of board members that aren't engaged. But at the end of the day, you have a board that's working together in some capacity, that are on the same page around the vision and the direction of your organization and where they fit in, right? That's what you have to have. You cannot be like, okay, for the purposes of my paperwork, I'm going to get 3 random people, my friends and my family and my mama, and I'm going to put them on this paper, and then I'm going to start doing the work, and then all by yourself. No. Start a for-profit if that's what you want to do. 2, you're trying to do everything yourself. Delegate. The word is trust. And Ella, you said, can we use the fundraise money to pay for a coach? Absolutely. As long as, let's see, when you're raising money, and let's say you're the donor, the one who was giving you the money, tells you they want you to use it for a specific reason, you got to use it for that specific reason. You can't use, funds to just do whatever you want to do. However, if you're doing a fundraiser and it's for general support of your organization, yes, you can. People do it all the time. Let me tell you, successful nonprofit organizations, they have consultants on deck. And there are foundations that give funding out for capacity building, which that's what they call it, capacity building. They give you funds to engage a consultant to help you with different things. So it could be board member. I had several. I had, with my previous organization, I got funds to do those types of things. So yes, right, you can. Okay. So thanks for the question, Ella. If anybody else has any questions, take advantage, okay? Ask me those questions. So yeah, don't do everything yourself. Learn how to delegate and trust the people who you have recruited, engaged around your organization to help you. Don't think that everything has to be free. You have to invest in certain things. You don't have to invest in everything. There are some things you can get free. There's in-kind support. There's attorneys that will offer or volunteer their time and their services. There are other types of, individuals will maybe gift a car or gift things to the organization, services. Yeah, you can get that. You can get that. But understand that you will have to pay for something. And it's up to you to determine what that is, and, what's the return of investment for the organization. But please don't approach things as if everything is supposed to be free and from a perspective of lack. I don't have money for that. I don't have money for. Let me tell you something. In the nonprofit world, you're going to have to figure out how to be creative with raising money. And you're going to have different streams of funding coming in. And you have to be open and understand that it will come. If you have done your work, if you have invested time into pulling the right board members together, or creating an effective and strong board, if you have invested time into your brand and into your story of your organization, if you have been thoughtful about making sure that you've thought through your mission, your vision, your programming, your goals, your outcomes, if you have done all of those things and built a strong foundation for your organization, the funding will come. You just have to, when we talk about budget, you have to make sure that your budget reflects that you plan to grow. All right. So it's really about our energy, your personal thoughts about money, and how if you feel it's hard to get money, it's going to be hard. If you feel like, $100,000 is too much money, it's going to be too much. I've raised millions of dollars for my organization. I've had up to 15 staff members at one time, had $500,000 budget every year. And let me tell you something. Okay. If I told myself, girl, you got these 15 people that you can't pay their salary. Guess what? I wouldn't be able to pay the salary. I wouldn't have brought in that much money. So make it up in your mind that money will come to you if you talk to it the right way. Okay? Even personally. Somebody gave me an example, or did like a little role play, which I thought was so cute. but it was so real, right? So she had me and another person come up to the stage, and she said, "Okay, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna talk. We were supposed to be money, okay? So me and this other person, we're the money, and in one scenario, she's yelling at us. She's like, "All right, Shalita, I'm gonna be talking to you, and I'm yelling at you, like." Money, come here. You need to. Why you? When you come, you don't never bring enough. You don't never do what I need you to do. You always leave me so fast. But come on, I need you so bad. Please, just come over here. And I'm like, she's like, if somebody was talking to you like that, would you walk over to them? Would you want to be in their space? So as money, I'm like, I ain't coming over there. Who you talking to? Who you only appreciate me when I come over there and you got all these negative things to say about me? I ain't enough. I'm too slow. Like I leave too fast. Like what you want, right? And then the other person, she switched it up. She switched her tone up and she said, "Hey, money, how you doing? You know what? I want to talk to you about some things. I think there's some things that we can do together. I think we can create some stuff. You know, I'm just so grateful for you. I'm thankful when you show up and you show out, you know." If somebody was talking to you like that, you'd be like, "Okay, well, what we doing? I'm going to bring my friends. Okay, what we doing? Where we going? How we going to build this?" Why would it be any different from money? Your attitude and your energy associated with money is exactly what you're going to get. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about money and funding for your nonprofit. If you're walking around here thinking that everything's too hard, money's too hard to get, when you get it, you ain't going to have enough. When you get it, you got to be stingy with it. Stingy. That's how my grandma used to say it. Stingy with it. You don't want to spend it on no help. You don't want to do none of that. You're going to keep it. You're going to hold it. Then just let it go, because that's exactly what your experience is going to be, right? So I'm telling y'all, be real with it. Money is energy. It's supposed to flow. It's supposed to come to you. It's supposed to leave. It's supposed to come back multiplied, but it only depends on how you treat it when you have it as to whether or not it's going to bring some friends. Okay? Boom. So let's keep it moving. Personal issues, we all got them. They don't ever go nowhere. But if it's so much, if you're going through something that you really need to figure out what is happening, figure that out first, because we are our organizations. We are our nonprofits, our entities. If you, like the example I gave earlier, a gentleman reached out to me, want to start a nonprofit. He's so excited about it. He's homeless, okay? Broke my heart. And I'm like, I know you have this passion for this community because you're a part of it right now. But listen, you got to get stable first before you start trying to help somebody else. All right, you got to figure your thing out, because you figuring your thing out is going to help you be more effective in your nonprofit organization. Okay, so yeah, we all got stuff, but if you in the midst of a storm, you need to slow down for a second and deal with that storm and figure out what the message is in that storm for you and what your takeaway from that storm is, because if not, it's going to show up in your organization, and you're going to get frustrated. You're not going to be able to finish. So it takes time and it takes dedication and commitment to start and launch a successful nonprofit organization. And I tell you all the time, we're going to have fun. We're going to be real. We're going to get results. Yeah, it can be fun. When I'm with you, we're going to have some fun. But we're going to do some work. It's work. All right? So if you're not in a space to dedicate and be focused on that work, wait a second. Okay? Wait a second. Last thing, messaging and branding, right? Most of y'all were joined in when I started talking about that. So how you look, don't want nobody to feel sorry for you. You don't want my 8-year-old to draw you a logo, and put some colors in there. And then on your website, you got different fonts and your grammatical errors. You just want to throw something up so people can come give you money. Doesn't work that way. You invest in a professional to do your marketing, your branding. Once you identify what your story is, and once you're clear on what you want your message to be to the world. All right? Any questions for me? Well, I got you on here. I just wanted to keep it simple. We can get through all of this stuff, okay? Don't be the reason why your organization is not successful. A lot of times we look externally and say, "Oh, it's not me. I keep hearing no, people won't help me. People won't give me money." Okay, take a second and look at what you're presenting to them. And is it something that you would invest in? Have you invested in yourself? Have you figured it out? If I told you that what's the star? If I told you Beyonce, okay, let's make it up. But if I told you Beyonce was gonna come perform or something just for you, right? She gonna come perform just for you, but you gotta come up with $1,000, just $1,000. You get a personal show, right? She gonna do the outfit changes and get you connected, but you just gotta come up with $1,000. Let me tell you, you gonna find that $1,000. You gonna stop drinking Starbucks. You gonna the nails might have to wait a little something. You might have to look. You might eat pork and beans and hot dogs for for months. You're gonna sacrifice to go see her. So why don't you sacrifice to make sure your dream comes to life, right? All right, so I got some questions here. So Elvicia, you said talk more about capacity building. I want to understand it better. So capacity building is pretty much what it is. What it says, it's building your organization's capacity to do the work. And it can encompass a lot of different things. So typically it encompasses hiring maybe a consultant to come in to help you with, maybe it could be fundraising, it could be board member development, sort of our relationship, Elvicia, your capacity building, because you're my nonprofit visionary client. Love you. We're doing capacity building, anything that's going to help you to be able to increase your ability to serve more clients or more people, or increase your impact and your reach, is called capacity building. Okay, that's what that is. And I gave some examples, but for me too, it was I got a grant to bring in a consultant to help me with strategic planning. That was one grant that I had gotten. And they pretty much come in and, LV, like what we've been doing, the planning sessions on your vision and, helping you with that and tapping into your stakeholders to kind of see who, how do they perceive you, that whole process. I also had capacity building I had an executive coach that came in to sort of help me work through I had a couple hiccups and some things, and, just needed some support. And as a nonprofit exec and running an organization, it's hard sometimes to be able to talk to people about what you're experiencing, because nobody really understands what it's like running an organization. So I was able to get an executive coach to come in and sort of help me think through some things. That's called capacity building. It could even be hiring a staff person to staff a new program that you've just developed. That's capacity building. You get me? Any other questions? Facebook need to make sure this stuff is instant, So, as soon as you send me a message, I can see it, like right then, because I don't have no patience. I really need to work on my patience. Okay, Elvie, I'm glad that, okay, that was helpful. And so, okay, Ella, so I did tell you that I would wait till afterwards. So you asked about a letter of intent, or LOI, and what to attach to that. So y'all, when you talk about fundraising, sometimes depending on the foundation, depending on where you're trying to apply for funds from. Thanks, Elvie. I love your energy too. We be rolling, don't we? But sorry about that. But it depends on who you're getting money from, or you're asking for money from. So if it's a foundation and they tell you before you can send in a proposal to us, you have to send in a letter of intent so we can make sure that it's worth our time and it's worth your time to even submit a proposal. So typically the letter of intent, or the LOI, is short. It's no more than 3 pages long. And it's just an overview of your organization, what you're trying to do. I looked at the attachment, Ella, that you gave, and it's a good visual, right? But it's not necessarily something you would attach to a letter of intent. And I'll tell you why. So typically nowadays, everything's virtual. Funders are moving more towards the virtual side. So there are portals and online forms that you have. The letter of intent is typically virtual now. So, they don't, if they allow you to upload things, it might be very limited, so they probably just want the content. So you could pull from that visual that you have and put it as content into the letter of intent format. You could do that. But as far as uploading, unless they ask, you can upload some additional things to marketing materials, which, with the letter of intent, sometimes they don't really do that. They're just trying to see what you're talking about before they even ask you to submit anything more. But if they do invite you to do that or have a space for you to upload something, you can upload what you have. If it's not redundant, if you haven't already said those things in the description or the LOI, then why not? But again, it depends on who who's asking for the LOI and what they are telling you they want the formatting to be. Okay, but I'll tell you, typically they don't want any sorts of brochures and all that type of stuff for the letter of intent. Now, they ask you to submit a full proposal. They like what you're talking about and they want you to go into deeper detail. Then maybe they might say, okay, well, send me some videos, or send me little video links, or send me some more stuff about, your full proposal. Okay? Okay, Ella? Was that helpful? Anybody else have any questions? Y'all know how we do towards the end. We just sort of talk about anything. Hashtag nonprofit no filter. We'll talk about anything. But it all goes back into what we were talking about earlier. So these, it's important things to have answers to. Anything else? Awesome, Ella. I'm glad it was helpful. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, so I'm glad that y'all joined today. I know I was slipping last week. I didn't do a session, but I have, things have picked up in a good way. But I'm making sure that I keep that 12 noon time for you all, even if if push comes to shove. I put a recorded video on here of a topic, and I give you heads up on what that's going to be. But I'm going to be making sure I'm sharing every Thursday at 12 p.m. with you information. I also want to tell you all about another challenge that I have coming up. So I just finished the Launch Your Nonprofit in 28 Days challenge, and it was so cool. I mean, I tell you, I love my nonprofit visionaries. The folks that were in that group, they were about it, they were on it, and they have results. And I can't wait, to be able to talk to them later today as we close out our 28 days. They've got their board members, they've got they've filed their paperwork. That's another thing. Y'all sitting up here paying thousands of dollars to people to do that paperwork. You better come on over here and let me help you, show you how to do that for a whole lot less. Okay? You better do that. So I'm happy that we finished that, and the next challenge is going to start. And I got your question, Ella. I'm going to answer it. The next challenge is going to start April 1st, and it's going to be the Raise $10,000 in 60 Days challenge. So if you already have your nonprofit, established, and, prerequisite is that you have to have your 501c3 or have a fiscal agent. I would suggest, before joining that challenge, because the things that we're going to talk about is like the money, and you're going to need to have a mechanism in place to accept money during that challenge. So, but I'm excited about that. Over 60 days, we're going to have, and through the Facebook live messages in our private Facebook group, I'm going to be helping to walk folks through that, and talking about storytelling, branding, how to prepare yourself for money, how to leverage your network for money. We're going to have like hands-on stuff. Homework, hard work is due. It's not just me talking to you, okay? And then that's it. No, I'm going to be holding you accountable. If you want an accountability partner to make sure you get the money, then I'll put the link below. Join the challenge, okay? It was good spending time with you. If you are not my client already, please reach out. Let's talk about how we can make it happen. There's so many ways I can help and be supportive, and I hope that you join the next challenge, April 1st. Until next time, be blessed.